Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. So the TikTok CEO is being absolutely grilled today in Congress, and I thought I'd kind of go through this grilling live for you. So the BBC is covering this event live, as you can see. They are absolutely grilling him, question after question after question. I'm just going to go through each of them with you guys one by one. So just to give you a background, TikTok has been banned by government devices in United States and also in government devices in the UK as well. And the United States is basically trying to force TikTok to sell to an American company. If not, they will outright ban it in the United States. So the TikTok CEO has come before Congress to kind of support TikTok, and he's been absolutely grilled. This is the grilling of a century. It's a much more bigger grilling than Mark Zuckerberg ever had, and everybody knows Mark Zuckerberg got an absolute grilling last time he was on Congress. So let's kind of go through some of the grilling that he's done. So this is live as we speak. So they asked him if the CEO owns shares in ByteDance, and he said, "Yes, I do." Obviously, ByteDance is the parent company, so obviously he would have shares. So that's really is a non-question. So another lawmaker says, "Why is China opposed to the sale of TikTok?" I mean, come on, guys. Imagine Apple. If the Chinese government suddenly says to Apple, "You have to." You have to basically sell all of your shares to a Chinese company. We will ask you to, we will force you to sell your company, otherwise we will ban you. I mean, come on, this is government doing absolute what they can to destroy TikTok. And no company will kind of agree to this. I mean, lawmaker says, why is China opposed to sale of TikTok? If it was a European company, say, for example, um, say BMW, for example, and United States says to BMW, why is Germany opposed to BMW being sold to an American company? I mean, blah. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you, be forced to sell a company? It goes beyond anything legal. And these questions are really, really, really dumb. I have to say. So this guy basically starts. Linking the Uyghur stuff to TikTok as well, and you hear it a million times, guys, and it's tiring, absolutely tiring. And he goes, he asks if he supports genocide. I mean, what kind of question is that? When you're a CEO of a company and you're being asked if you support genocide, What doesn't he ask questions like that to Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk in Twitter or something like that? These guys, own social media companies. What happens in the outside world? It's got nothing to do with them. It's just really stupid questions, if you ask me. And so he asked him if he kind of in a heated exchange, Texas lawmaker asked if a TikTok is a platform for good, and Chu says yes, of course it is. Then he asks Chu if he supports the First Amendment, which projects the freedom of speech. Again, Chu says yes. Then he asks Chu if supports genocide, and Chu says no, which is correct. In the latest questions faced by Chu on China's human rights record and allegations against China carrying out genocide against its Uyghur population, Chu appears to be increasingly frustrated. And obviously, I would be frustrated as well. I'm not sure I'm understanding all these questions, he said, which is right. I mean, what kind of questions are they asking? I mean, they're getting confused. This TikTok is a company. It's got nothing to do with Uyghurs or whatever. China does not need to oversee Project Texas, Chu. Moving on to California congressman who said the biggest concern is whether China's government needs to approve TikTok's initiative called Project Texas. Project X is a code name for security protocol that TikTok has submitted to the White House to continue operating in the US. Proposal is meant to calm national security concerns and firm hopes, avoiding a nationwide ban. Responding to the questions, he says American data will be stored in American soil and overseen by American company. Does China need to oversee it? I do not believe so. So which is right. So Project Texas is basically keeping all of that data in United States, and Chu says, yeah, that's fine. That sounds reasonable. And so I don't know what the problem is. They said, yeah, they will accommodate that. They will do that. Even to this day, Facebook does not have any servers in Europe. So all the data, all the stuff that's kind of we do when we look at Instagram, when we look at Facebook, all of that data is basically stored in the United States. And Facebook is currently going through some European regulations where these servers need to be housed in Europe for security concerns. And if they don't do that, then they will also face ban as well. However, the Europeans look like they've kind of forgotten about Facebook, and Facebook is still carrying on. Instagram is still carrying on. They still haven't got any servers in Europe. These servers are still United States. But TikTok's saying, yeah, don't worry, we will produce we will basically save these data in American soil, so you've got nothing to worry about. So again, he's being grilled for that, and he's given the correct answers. So it says here, TikTok critics gather in Washington, and he says, "Oh my God, it's so funny." Near the Capitol, a group wearing black banned TikTok T-shirts walked by me, and the way they phrase it, a group. This is not a group. There's only two people, right? It makes it sound like there's a massive group of hundreds and hundreds of people. There's only two people, and one of them is bloody obese. Probably gets jealous looking at all of the beautiful women in Instagram, TikTok, and thinking, "Oh God, I wish I would look like them. I wish I had their bodies." Probably gets jealous, having all of these mental issues, and so one of them is definitely looks like some sort of activist, and the other one looks like her sister. Talk too much, not enough action, Congresswoman Craig. Up next is Congresswoman Angie Craig, who tells Chu he's been talking a lot about safety, but not too much to show for it. I don't understand what she means there. TikTok has taken little action to stop posts promoting illicit drug use, she says. What are you doing to move past this token effect to stop teenagers using drugs? Chu responds, much like he has all day. TikTok takes the problem very seriously. We will continue to work on it. No company is perfect. Exactly, no company is perfect. I mean, she needs to ask the same questions on Facebook, on Instagram, on other social media platform, Twitter, for example. So it's not just a TikTok problem. This is a general social media problem. And looks like TikTok's getting all the blame for it. First compliment of the day. Congressman says, a lot of us are thinking today. Today feels like a long day, yet not a lot of questions have been answered. Ironically, he doesn't ask one of Chu himself. But in a rare move this afternoon, he compliments Chu on having a product and a tool that's doing well. No question this has value, he says, but the praise ends there. TikTok acts like a big brother, Fulcher says, and this has got to stop. Okay. Okay. Again, there's no real evidence. He's not really, when he says acts like Big Brother, what does it mean? And, again, he thinks that the Chinese are spying on everyone. They got cameras in fridges and all sorts of ridiculous accusations. They think there's cameras on cranes. They want to ban cranes. There's they want to blow up any spy balloons flying over their territory. It doesn't matter if it's Chinese spy balloons. It can be a school project, and they'll still blow it up like they've done. Chu confronted about COVID and misinformation. Um, he asked TikTok, why are these dangerous videos falling through the cracks? Chu says a company partnered with third-party experts to develop policies to remove content with their advice. Your efforts have failed and they're dangerous, putting millions of people's health and lives at risk, being unable to do your job. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you can't just blame COVID misinformation on TikTok. This COVID misinformation is basically coming from the top, from the government. I mean, I can't speak for the US government here, but for the UK, everybody knows all of this COVID information that we've been given out by um, Boris Johnson and his cronies and that Matt Hancock guy. All of it was misinformation. They were giving out false information while they were out there partying, doing all sorts. One rule for us and another rule for them. So if there is any COVID misinformation out there, it needs to go straight to the top, not just blame TikTok for it. Again, this is not just a TikTok issue. This is also a social media issue. I'm sure companies such as YouTube, Twitter and Instagram have the same issue. Committee has taken a break. Why parents should be responsible for monitoring TikTok. Republican says he opens his question by telling TikTok CEO that his firm has been responsible for delivering harmful content to children, including posts encouraging eating disorders and suicide. I'm not sure about that. He asked Chu, why should the responsibility be on parents to set up app to protect children rather than the company? Chu repeats that TikTok has a differentiated experience for teenagers which parents can use to protect them. He says it takes the issue extremely seriously and all harmful content, especially to do with eating disorders, are removed from the platform, which is a good answer, really. I mean, they're coming up with all of these things with no facts or evidence to back their statements up. Chu will look at children's safety issues, as should any social media company. No government devices have social media apps, TikTok CEO. So Congressman Dave Joyce is speaking, asking Chu to set out a timeline when old TikTok data will be transferred to the new American server. So this is in progress at the moment. There's obviously data being transferred from the old servers into American servers in American soil. So again, there's nothing to worry about. And he says this will be done by the end of the year. So this is not something obviously you can do overnight. You need to build data centers and then you got to send all that data across. It's not something that can be done overnight. These things take time. But he said we're done by end of the year, so there's no issues there. So let's go down. Democrat Kim is questioning Chu about the effects of TikTok's children's mental health, noting it's designed to be addictive. Look, end of the day, I'm not supporting TikTok or any social media here. I mean, social media is addictive, and I think it's destroying. I mean, I personally think that all social media should be banned. I think we're losing a generation of kids because they are addicted to social media. They have all sorts of mental issues because of it. But this is not a TikTok problem. This is a problem with all social media. Not, Instagram, um, Twitter, or many other social media platforms out there. And my issue is, why are they targeting TikTok? If they're going to target one social media app, they need to target all of them. Why do they not target Facebook and other social media apps? Because they're targeting TikTok because it's Chinese, and that's my issue here. No respite for TikTok chick. Welcome to the bipartisan committee Congress, said Buddy Carter earlier today. Over and over again, politicians of every swipe have slammed TikTok. There's no let up. when Twitter or Facebook is there to do similar hearings, there are usually some legislators that are sympathetic to the companies, particularly Californians. So basically, what they're saying that Chew right now is getting absolutely hammered, and when Facebook or Twitter guys come up, there are some congressmen who are kind of very lenient or sympathetic to them. But in this case, everybody's ganged up on him. Absolutely everyone. There's no let up here. American companies don't have a great record with data, so let's see what he says here. Moving on to Congressman Darren Soto, where he believes that TikTok needs to be an American company with American values. We have to protect our kids, those under 13. Added the key term is privacy. Chu pushes back, saying, I think we need to address the problem of privacy. With all due respect, American companies don't have a great track record with the data. Just look at Facebook, and which is right. I mean, just look at Facebook. Facebook have been stealing data for years. You know, there used to be Facebook Messenger, which used to kind of track your phone and take data off your phone, and they've been taking data without anyone realizing for years. And the fact that that congressman says TikTok needs to be an American company with American values. So TikTok, Facebook has been doing that. And Facebook is an American company. So again, he just shows the double standards there, and I think that's a really good answer by him. Again, Chu dodges questions on Uyghur repression. I mean, what's Uyghur got to do with the TikTok social media app? Come on, guys. I mean, when you see like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk coming out, are they gonna grill him with the Uyghur questions? Of course they're not. This is just basically they've typecast Chu because it's Chinese, and any chance they can get, basically they are just using that Uyghur issue. TikTok hearing closely followed by UK officials. The hearing will be closely watched in the UK, particularly by those more hawkish on China who want to follow Washington lead. Of course, whatever the US do, the UK is not far behind, because when the US basically banned TikTok from government devices, UK did exactly the same thing. The UK is basically a puppet. They're just a little chihuahua. Whatever the US does, UK does exactly the same. For example, when the US boycotted the Beijing Olympics, the Winter Olympics, UK did exactly the same. If the US decides to increase their interest rates, UK does exactly the same. This is like a little puppet. Whatever US do, UK is not far behind. Several countries have banned TikTok. So let's see what this says. Several lawmakers today have said that they want to see a TikTok ban in the US. Okay. So just now, Congresswoman Debbie lists some of the countries who have banned TikTok in some form, including UK. UK hasn't banned TikTok. They've only banned it in government devices, and they've done exactly the same what US has done. So it's not a total ban. So again, that information is wrong. New Zealand. New Zealand has not done a total ban in TikTok. They have followed the UK's lead and only banned government devices. And India. India is a completely different problem. India has banned all apps from China, every single one. And this happened because there was a clash a couple of years ago in the valley, in the border. There was a border clash. And because of that, India decided to ban all apps from China. It wasn't just TikTok. So again, she needs to get her facts straight. Chu admits his kids don't have TikTok because of Singapore restrictions. So those of you who don't know, Chu lives in Singapore, and TikTok's main parent company office is based in Singapore, and they also have a massive office in the United States. So they don't. TikTok is not the same as ByteDance. TikTok is a completely separate entity, and the TikTok's main headquarters is Singapore. He lives in Singapore as well, and you can see his kids live in Singapore. And they asked if his kids use TikTok, and he says he doesn't because TikTok has Singapore restrictions, which is right. I mean, he's just being honest there. Focus remains on TikTok's relationship with ByteDance. So again, this guy's grilling him about ByteDance and stuff. And then what does Chu say? Chu strongly refutes these points. Both men are talking across each other for much of the exchange. Basically, Chu denies TikTok's promotes or removes, as well as rejecting Palmer's characterization of ownership of ByteDance. But basically, he thinks that ByteDance completely controls TikTok, which is not true. Then they move into more disjointed exchange, where he talks about child sex exploitation, drug trafficking, repression of Uyghur Muslims. Oh my God. This guy, I mean, you know, oh my God, these guys are just out there to attack him with whatever they can find. Says TikTok CEOs appeal to users for support. Um, TikTok has now 150 American users, 150 million American users. This includes 5 million businesses. So they said that if TikTok is banned, all of these people would be affected, which is a huge number, to be honest. And I know for a fact that kids nowadays, they love TikTok, and if you take it away from them, they're not going to be happy. And Biden could even lose young people voting for him as well, because, you know, when you take away, imagine this, when you have a kid, right? When you have a kid 16, 18 years old, they've been building up their TikTok accounts for years, and they've built up millions of followers. Suddenly, overnight, TikTok is banned. All of that work has gone for nothing. So all of these teenagers are going to be absolutely angry beyond belief. And all of these businesses that you've built, your businesses on TikTok with millions of followers, um, suddenly overnight you can't use TikTok. So imagine all of the money that businesses would lose. Imagine all the millions and millions. I'm talking 150 million people here. You're not going to be happy. It's going to cause a huge issue. The official Chinese view and the irony of its position. So Beijing has said they would not allow TikTok to be sold to an American company. And this is right, because American companies are not going to be wanting to be forced to be sold to a Chinese company. You got to look at it the other way. So so China is basically adamant that we're not going to allow ByteDance to be sold. I mean, we're not going to allow TikTok to be sold to an American company. No way, because that they're giving away trade secrets. TikTok is an algorithm. It's got a lot of TikTok is one of the best social media companies out there. So there'll be a lot of American companies looking to steal TikTok's technology for themselves. So the Chinese government is not going to allow that. So Chu confirms ByteDance has access to US data, but this is not for long, guys. Obviously, right now they do, but they are moving to new American servers by the end of this year. That's what Chu said. They're moving to new American servers, and the data is going to be transferred to these American servers, and only it will be kept in American soil, and ByteDance will not have access to that. And that's what Chu has promised. So what's Project Texas? I've already gone through that. Project Texas. TikTok CEO claims his company is an industry leader. Is he right? Of course he's right. I mean, young kids, you just have to look at the numbers. TikTok is more popular than Instagram, other social media out there. Everybody's using TikTok. So look what BBC says. So on paper, Chew appears to be correct. Obviously, obviously. I mean, come on. He's getting absolutely grilled here. Congressman and Chu row over if TikTok is a Chinese company. So first up, Congressman Tony, he says it's a Chinese company, and he goes back and forth whether TikTok is a Chinese company or not. And Chu says the company's headquarters are based in Singapore and Los Angeles. See, the headquarters are based in Singapore and Los Angeles. And Congress are point out the company is owned by ByteDance, a Chinese company. Look, it doesn't matter, guys. I mean, you just, for example, end of the day, think, every company has different, companies work differently. And the Chinese version of TikTok in China is I think believe it's Douyu or something, and it's completely a different version, different way the way it works and stuff like that, different algorithm and stuff like that. TikTok was made for the Western market, and this is why it's so popular in the West. While they have their own version in China. Um, their main headquarters is in Singapore. The main kind of they got headquarters in Los Angeles as well. It doesn't mean that ByteDance controls it all. Obviously, they probably have the majority stake, and I'm sure a lot of American companies would love to have majority stake in TikTok and own it outright. So it really doesn't matter whether a Chinese company owns it or not. It's all about privacy and whether the data is safe. And Chu has promised many times in this angry exchange with all these congressmen, men and women, that the data will be transferred to American servers in American soil, and ByteDance will not have access to it by the end of the year. And that's it. Problem solved. There is no point, no need for all of this grilling. I mean, if they want to go on the route of banning every single Chinese company from United States soil, so maybe China will do the same. They'll start banning Apple, Tesla, and many other major companies. Imagine the amount of money that, American companies will lose if they lose the Chinese market, if they want to go along this route. So I've gone through that. UK acts against TikTok, but risks remain largely theoretical. So you could even this guy says risks remain largely theoretical. So even this guy admits that there's no risks. It's only theoretical risks. There's no proof. There's no proof. There's no audit which shows that this is an actual problem. The problem is um, this anti-Chinese sentiment going around the US. Anything Chinese will be kicked out. There's a decouple going on between the United States and China, and they are basically trying to kick TikTok out. So their own, social media like Instagram and stuff, that kind of stuff starts going up. And imagine if they kick out TikTok, and Instagram will definitely start taking off, because Instagram, nobody really uses Instagram anymore. They're losing money, they're losing users day by day. I mean, that product is so crap. Even I don't use it anymore. Q quizzed TikTok's impact on minority groups. She's talking about Black Lives Matter protest movement. I don't understand, what race has got to do with TikTok. I mean, this is a social media company like every other social media company, and obviously she's brought the race card out. What does Chu says? So he said he'll need to check exactly what she means by an audit, but also rare chance to finish an answer. Agrees that with the broader point that social media firms should be transparent as possible about the algorithms. Okay. Yeah, I've got nothing more to say to that. Could TikTok provide the Chinese government with data? So what did Chu says? Article 7 in China's national intelligence law says any organization or citizen should support, assist, or cooperate with national intelligence work. However, this will go against China's public messaging on TikTok, which the app is not a threat, but simply a popular social media enjoyed by hundreds of millions of people internationally, including many in the United States. So this is just a hypothetical question. Chu quizzed on TikTok's policy over drug-related content. I mean, come on, guys. There's a drug problem in the United States. It's not TikTok's fault. There was a drug issue happening in the United States way before TikTok ever existed. So, these questions are not just TikTok based. They should be based on all social media platforms, including YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, I know people who buy drugs and stuff over Snapchat, and Instagram. There's active people out there who are, actively doing drug dealing on those platforms. So it's not just a TikTok problem. This is a problem throughout social media. So this is more or less the same sort of thing they're covering, guys. I'm not gonna go through each and every one. Is any new stuff going on? And Project Texas again, they're talking about. Um, the hearing is finally over. And again, it just looks like this guy has got an absolute grilling, absolute grilling. I've never seen this kind of grilling before by Congress, but very good performance by Chew, I thought. He got an absolute grilling by Congress, and I think he stood well, um, regardless of all the barrages he's had. So I think he's answered all the questions as correctly as much as he could. So it's just a waiting game now. Let's see what the lawmakers decide. I think a lot of them are anti-China hawks anyway. So they have to decide if they do want to ban TikTok, because there is no way TikTok will sell itself to an American company and transfer technology. There is no way they will do that. So the only other way is for US to ban TikTok, and if they do that, a lot of people will be angry. A lot of young users, 150 million young users, are going to be very angry because all of the work they did building up their accounts and followers is all going to disappear overnight. And all the businesses that run businesses using TikTok, they're going to obviously lose a hell of a lot of money and business. So if they want to do that in this climate and cause more headache and mayhem by banning it, then by all means. But seriously, this thing is a absolute joke. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you again soon.